everybody.
Hey guys, welcome to the God Works podcast. Today we're going to be here with Aaron. He's going to be talking to us a little bit about leading from the middle. And he's just going to show us a little bit of how that worked for him. So the scripture for today is found in Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. And he says like this: "And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." So Aaron, just tell me a little bit about how, like, what does that mean to you, and how do you learn that about just leading from the middle?
Yeah, for sure. So as a Christian in the workplace, there are always going to be eyes on you.
Right.
They're going to be looking at how you respond in frustration, how you respond in situations that are difficult. When the boss comes and giving you so much to do, or things that just don't make sense, how do you respond in that moment? Because most of the time in the workplace, there's not a lot of Christians around you.
Right.
So automatically, everyone's looking at you. You, quote unquote, have a leadership position put on you, even if you're not in a leadership position, because the way that people view you as a Christian.
Right.
And this verse says, let's not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest.
Right.
So in this leading from the middle, even if you're not at the top, if you're not the boss, or if you're not the one in charge, you're not the foreman, or you're not the one running the show, you have to be able to lead from no matter what position you're in.
Right.
Because everyone's going to have someone looking at them. And for me, for example, for me, when I started the job, when I moved to Dallas from Louisiana, and I came back to school here, and I started a job in construction. And, I started off just as a bi-hourly employee. I wasn't in charge. I didn't have any title or leadership, put on me.
Right.
I just can't. Yeah.
You're just the new kid from Louisiana.
Yeah, that's right. No one knows anything about me, but they do know that I'm a Christian.
Right.
So when I come and I put my heart into it. I work. I help out where it's needed. To be a leader, even if you're not quote unquote the leader, you have to serve. And if you want to be a leader in the middle, you have to serve every position. You have to serve the person that's under you. You have to serve the person that's beside you. You have to serve the person that's in front of you. Because in order to get somewhere, you got to serve. Right. No one just starts off as a leader. No one starts off as the boss.
Right. You have to learn how to follow first.
Exactly.
And just kind of be able to do above and beyond to just serve people and just show them this is how we do it. I'm in anything that you need me to do.
Exactly.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, and if you're looking in the workplace, if you're looking to advance further, you have to lead before you become a leader.
Right.
And leading is serving. So if you're not serving the people that you work with and the boss that you're with a genuine heart, then you'll never become a leader.
Right.
You'll never be put in the position of a boss to lead other people, because you never served to become a leader.
Right.
So in this position, I came in, the boss would give me instructions, even if they were sometimes he would give us the dumbest instructions, like to make us rebuild something with old scrap wood that was rotten. And it would make no sense, and I'd be so frustrated. But I would just calm down. I'd be like, all right, let's just do this, because I'm supposed to serve him. He's the boss. I'm not the boss here. I can't determine what we're supposed to do. I'm just supposed to do what I'm called to do while I'm here at this job.
Right.
And, so that's what I did. I just served. I pushed forward through all the frustrations, and people started to see that. The people that were under me, the people that were beside me, and then even my boss that I was working for started to see, well, man, even in crazy situations, he's making the load lighter on me. He's helping me out by not giving me a hard time about the task at hand. Right. And the workers beside me, they're like, well, man, he really held his composure. Right. Whenever that went down. Right,
because you showed them, the scripture says, that you were not tired of doing good, but you kept enduring and just you weren't just, let's say, okay, this frustration is just wearing me out, I'm gonna stop. But you kept showing them hey, I'm a Christian, I'm gonna help to that. I'm gonna show you guys how we can still do good and serve. That's
perfect. Perfect
that's really
example.
Cool.
Yeah, man, and that's and as I kept doing that, as I kept moving forward, you know what happened? I started getting moved up in position, and I wasn't doing it to get moved up.
Right.
I was doing it to serve other people, because that's the position that I was in. I was just a hired help. I wasn't in charge. But whenever you serve wholeheartedly, leading from the middle in tough situations, you lead yourself and you lead the ones around you to a more positive note, to what has to be done. And then all of a sudden you start getting promotions. You start getting noticed. I'm the youngest guy on my crew in construction.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 23 years old.
23, all right.
And all the other guys are 30 plus. I think there's one 50-year-old, a couple 30-year-olds.
Wow.
And whenever I first started working there, I just served everybody. But after doing that for a year, now I am a foreman on the job, and everybody looks to me.
Wow.
And not to say that to boast about anything, but it shows you, for everyone listening, if you're in the workplace and you're serving everyone around you, then eventually you're going to be promoted, because you don't get weary, you don't give up, you just keep pushing forward and leading from the middle where you're at, leading from the spot that you were hired on as.
Right. And now you're getting the experience of reaping what you sow, even though you didn't do it with that heart of like, I just want to get promoted, I just want to be above everyone. You just did it with the heart. It's like, man, I'm just going to serve people, and like the Bible says, eventually you're going to reap where you're sowing. So that's really cool. That you can teach, like, you can teach us, like, man, I don't have to give up to my job. And you guys are listening, it's like, you might be tired of doing what you're doing, but as you keep serving, as you keep doing it, and you're doing a good job with all your heart, you start, like, seeing how God starts, like, showing you, like, hey, here's your reward, right? Like, He starts promoting you and showing you good things. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, like what you said, you reap what you sow. And if you sow discord amongst your workers and everybody that you're around, you're not going to advance in your workplace. You're not going to get anywhere. It's actually going to become harder for you. It's going to make it harder for your boss, which he's not going to look and be like, he's going to see that you're a problem within the workplace because you're making things harder on him.
Right.
And then you'll never be able to advance. But if you sow good seed, if you sow working hard, leading, even though you're not in a leadership position, that you're giving it your all, giving it your heart, you're going to advance. Right. It reminds me of the parable in Matthew 25:14-30, the parable of the talents. There was a lord over the, just the province that was there, and he was going out of town, and he had 3 workers. And before he left, he gave 5 talents to one worker, 2 talents to another worker, and then 1 talent to another one. Right. Well, while the guy was gone, while their boss was gone, the person that he gave 5 talents to, he invested it and made 5 more. And then the person that had 2 talents, he invested it and made 1 more. But then the person who had 1, he didn't invest. Honestly, he didn't do anything with what he was given. He buried it and then just gave the same thing he was given right back. Right. And in the end, you see that the boss guy comes back. He talks to the first one. He's like, "Good and faithful servant. Because you were faithful with little, I'm going to make you faithful over a lot. I'm going to make you a ruler over a lot." Right. And same thing to the second guy, because he invested what he had and he gave more than what he was given. Right. And then the last guy, who didn't do anything with what he was given, he didn't get blessed. He wasn't faithful over what was given to him. And in the workplace, you have to be faithful no matter what position you're in. That's right. If you're not given anything, if you start in a low position, be faithful with that. Right. And God's going to bless you. He's going to be like, because you were faithful in even the most unfaithful circumstance, I'm going to make you leader over a lot. That's awesome. And but yeah, that's just incredible. So anyone who's listening, if you're in this position where you're not a leader yet, just keep pushing forward. Just lead in the position that you're at. Be faithful. Steward what you're given. And I promise you, if you're serving God and you're serving the people that you work for, He will make way for promotion. He will make way to advance you in the workplace. And it will become a lot easier for you whenever you do it God's way. Galatians 6:9. Don't become weary in doing good, and at the proper time you will reap a harvest if you don't give up. So don't give up. Keep pushing.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Just stay tuned for the next podcast, and just thank you, Aaron, for it. So see you guys later.
Yeah.